people, definitely the people here. They've been wonderful to work with, and the leadership, the volunteers. Since third grade, I accompanied in my little grade school choir when the first, second grade teacher kept hitting the wrong note when we were having rehearsals for a third grade operetta. I was her page turner, and after 3 days of hearing the same wrong notes, I leaned over and whispered into Mrs. Gerber's ear, "That was an F sharp, but that was a B flat." And her personality was such that she couldn't take any constructive criticism at all. She stood up and got mad at me and said, "Eddie Brunges, if you think you can do any better, then you just do it yourself." Well, I'm a good sight reader, and even though I never played the music, I sat down and played it perfectly. She got so mad she stormed off across the gym floor where we were rehearsing, never came back to play. So I wound up playing the piano, accompanying that little operetta. I don't really have a title, but I've been working for John Rust for many years, restoring and installing organs that he's acquired, and mostly training a younger group of people. I call them 20-somethings, even though they're not all in their 20s. The majority are at 20s. Some are musicians, some not musicians at all. I think the oldest one I trained was in his 40s, and the youngest one was in high school. So wide range. Some of them have actually gone on in the profession and become organ tuners and repairmen and builders working for other companies. Everything is totally dismantled. Under every pipe is a very, very thin, almost tissue paper thin piece of leather circle. There's a valve pad on top of that. There's a spring under it. And so I have to take off all the bottom boards off the bottom of the chest, which are just planks of wood. Take out all the pitman rails, all the pouch boards, and then all the valves for the primary actions and tubing and winding for the chest. And music came easy to me. I did obviously work at it, probably a lot more than other people do. I practiced before breakfast every morning, and during the summer I practiced after lunch, and then for dinner time. I had a sister who was 3 years younger that also took piano lessons. Whoever finished dinner first got to play and practice piano. The other person had to wash dishes. I really didn't want to wash dishes, so I ate faster and got to the piano first. I have so many passions besides restoring and playing for church. I work with other people musically, whether it's a group of singers or instrumentalists, because I work with both of the high schools and the theater groups and the solo ensemble contest in the wintertime, accompanying all those kids. Week, my major organ professor, Dr. Alston Gatz, said, "Ed, I want you to go audition at a church in Columbus. It's called Asbury." And I had no car, and he had a doctoral student. He wanted him to audition at Sandy Hook United Methodist Church, so Tom Cowan drove me, and I had the interview at Asbury. At the interview, I played a couple of the hymns and a sample of a prelude, a postlude, and an offertory, and then they had me sight read some choir music. And Chuck Venata picked one out that he thought was really hard. It was tricky, kind of jazzy, and I sight read that perfectly. And they go, "Did you read that before? Have you seen that movie? No, that's sight unseen. So they hired me, and that was the beginning of my sophomore year at IU. At the interview, I told them I'll be around 3 years. I wasn't real impressed with IU my freshman year. That was before I got to know everything and a major professor well. So I said, I'm going to go to grad school on the East Coast somewhere, but I'll be around for 3 years. Obviously, God had other plans. I have no intention of ever retiring.